Hi, we are Gary and Shelley, and 2 years ago we walked away from toxic jobs and the UK rat race to design a life we actually wanted. Not rich, not retired in the old sense, but definitely free. Each week we will talk about the myths of retirement, the reality of burnout, moving to and living in Portugal, and how to change your life before it's too late.
Hi and welcome back to the channel. Very exciting day today. We've got something we haven't done for a little while. We are heading out on a city tour. So it's what's it like to visit and would it be like to live in this location. So we're going to be looking at a lot of things, what the city has to offer, etc, etc. But obviously I haven't let you into where we're going yet, although it might be in the title, I'm not sure.
Wait and see. I think it might be in the title.
Anyway, as all good YouTubers say, let's get into it.
In Viseu today, strangely overlooked by many immigrants, but today we're going to show you why this city deserves more attention. It is known as the green parkland of Portugal, and it has so much green space, and the locals take real pride in it being clean and safe, and there's even peacocks strolling around the parklands.
Oh, shows your feathers.
So it is right in the centre of Portugal, and you're about an hour away from the coast and the mountains. It isn't the biggest city. It's certainly bigger than places like Évora and Guarda, but it's smaller than places like Coimbra.
So this is the heart of Viseu. This is Cathedral Square. You've just seen the cathedral, and behind me here we have the Igreja da Misericordia, which is Mercy Church. So there's a lot of history in these streets and in these buildings all around us here. A massive amount of history and culture. And it gives it's actually got a slightly different feel to the likes of, say, Porto and Coimbra. It's a little bit more relaxed with less people, although we have a few around us now. But it's absolutely a different vibe, totally different vibe, and it's really, really nice. And what's great is you go off down some of these little side streets and you've got little boutique shops, you've got lovely little cafes, restaurants and bars. So all in all, fantastic. Remember that. The heart of Viseu.
Rossio sounds Italian. Square, just behind me here, is one of the best places to come to kind of watch the world go by, observe the locals, have a coffee, and really soak up the atmosphere of Viseu. In terms of at Christmas time and shopping, this is one of the places we love to come, because the shopping is really good here. You've got a good mix of retail parks, independent shops, and you've got the Ice Palace, or Palacio do Gelo, which is a great, amazing shopping centre with every type of shop you could think about. And retail is big here. That shopping centre draws people from all around the region. So it really is an amazing place to come. But it gets really busy, I can warn you about that. But the whole of Viseu turns into a kind of festival at Christmas. They have amazing lights. Everything's just lit up beautifully. So it's definitely a great place for that.
Okay, so Viseu is not just history, it is culture as well. In the world of art, you had Fernando Vasco, who is also known as Grão Vasco. Grão? I may have said that wrong. He's in this, unfortunately, this museum behind that we can't get into at the moment. But then you contrast that to what is around the city. There is artwork, modern artwork, which is adorning lots of the walls around the city. You've got to go and take a look to find it. There are murals everywhere as well. And what's really interesting and what really gives Viseu a kind of a modern edge as well is they have an art festival every year here.
So if you're thinking about living here, oh my gosh, the green spaces are everywhere. Just so many. This park, it's right in the centre of Viseu, and it's a great place to come and get tranquility, to, you know, take your dog out. It is just a beautiful green space, and Viseu is known for being safe, for being really clean, and as I said earlier, the locals are really, really proud of it. It's ranked as one of the best cities to live in Portugal. In fact, it made the best city in Portugal to live in 2018, and it's been ranked by that, by its green spaces and its safety and its cleanliness. It's not just this park. The city has cycle lanes everywhere, so if you like cycling and that's your thing, that's definitely something you could take into consideration here. And for dog walking and walking, as me and Gary like to do, oh, this place is a dream.
Okay, as I stand here in front of the municipal market, let's talk about the practical side of Viseu. It has great schools, it has a big hospital, and it also has a very strong bus network. Now there's a reason it needs a strong bus network, is because there are no train stations. There's no mainline train station here in Viseu, which means that you're reliant on, for public transport, you're reliant on the buses and you're reliant on your own forms of transport. So it's compact enough a city for you to get around by bike or other forms of transport like that, and there is a good cycle network around the city as well supporting that. But obviously you might have your own car, and that is evident where you might have seen in some of the footage we have that the streets are very busy with cars, but no more so than other Portuguese cities, to be honest. But you are reliant on that. Now there's also a student city. They do have a polytechnic here in Viseu, which is a very important focal point for all the students coming here. The other thing is your network in terms of reaching other places. So from here, if you wanted to get to other major hubs like Coimbra, for example, then that's just over an hour away, about an hour and 15 minutes. And Porto is probably about 2 hours away to drive as well. So just over at best. Really, it's got everything you need. And I just want to take one last look at this. As municipal markets go, that's pretty spectacular.
So this is Gao Wine County Central here, and you'll find plenty of small tascas like this one serving traditional cuisine. Some of the regional specialities here are kid goat, cheeses from the Serra d'Estrella, which is nearby, sausages, Gary's favourite, and they also do a stew. I'll put the name on the screen because I'll forget how to pronounce it. But it's basically a stew made with chickpeas, pasta and meats. So if you want to come and explore a new type of cuisine in northern Portugal, Viseu is your place.
Okay, so cost of living. So remember, we are in the centre, in the tourism centre of Viseu at the moment. And we have just had a full lunch. So Shelley had a nice pork meal, I had a chicken steak, we had some cheesecake, we had a large glass of wine, and we had a beer, and we had a bottle of water, and 2 coffees to top that off. And that came to 38.50 is the total. So that is amazing. So it just shows you what you can get in a tourist centre in Viseu.
So property here, if we talk in terms of residential, it is considerably less than Lisbon and Porto, and it's definitely less than Coimbra as well. So you'll find mostly flats and family homes just outside, and it's still very Portuguese here, which is why I really like it. And there are some really characterful properties. So if you've got a bit more to invest, you can find some really, really typically Portuguese characterful properties here. So a modern 2-bedroom apartment in the centre of Viseu, sorry, I keep doing that wrong. I keep telling myself to do it right. You'll find a modern 2-bedroom apartment in the city centre for about €800. Now, if we compare that to Coimbra, you would be looking at about $950 to $1,000, and you would be looking at $1,250 plus in Porto, and probably more the plus if it's a modern apartment. So what's interesting is most of the housing stock in the centre is modern flats. There are lots of different types of modern flats as well, so there's something for everyone. And you get balconies and underground parking. So all in all, there's a lot more space here on residential than you'll find in some of the other big cities.
So Viseu has some amazing things adorning its streets, sculptures, artwork that we've mentioned. They have some amazing museums. They have a tram museum here, which harps back to the time where Viseu had its own tram system operating in the city. But like many cities in Portugal, it does have its traditions, and the streets are adorned with a lot of these sculptures and things. But one thing that really stands out is one of the oldest fairs in the country, which is the Feira de São Mateus, which is held once every year, and it goes on for what seems like forever. It just finished just a few days ago, so sadly we couldn't get any footage of it, but absolutely amazing. And also another tradition in Viseu in the autumn time is that chestnuts come into play. So it's a big area for chestnuts, probably due to all the chestnut trees. So absolutely fantastic. And when you come here to look around, you've really got to peel back the surface and have a proper look. So that's Viseu. So it's clean, it's safe, it's cultural, and it's absolutely full of character. So would you live here?
Do you know, for me, the dog walking, the green spaces, the food places, the character of the city centre has absolutely won me over. The only thing is that lack of train station. I think that I'd have to get over. I think I'd actually have to take a bus ride to a city, to the beach, to see what that felt like. That's how I feel about it.
Fair enough.
Great city though.
Yeah, great city. Really good point. I mean, we've also had the pleasure of meeting some of the locals here as well.
Yeah, we did.
We actually bumped into somebody ironically, who lives in the UK but is from this area.
Yeah,
and they
Portuguese,
were
yeah.
Portuguese lady, so friendly with her son. And they told us about so many good things about the city, which we've included in this video.
Yeah.
So we've had the pleasure of having some really nice conversations. And as I say, it's very friendly and it's very safe,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they were real advocates, weren't they?
Oh,
for
100%,
Viseu.
yeah, yeah.
And they were also saying about the fact that the locals are very friendly here. But let's now we always try and share with you what immigrants that are living here say. So, excuse me, I asked some immigrants, and this is the feedback that they had. Tranquility is a word that was used. Good for raising families, good for retirees, right? Growing, so it is a growing city, but it's not losing its charm, which definitely won us over. The sort of Portuguese charm here is delightful.
Yeah.
Size is easy to drive around.
Yeah.
It's easy to park and shop. I kind of might challenge the park and shop a bit. Because every time Gary and I have come here...
Yeah, based on experience of the Palacio de Gelo,
it's not been that easy to park.
No.
But we're coming at peak time, so I think we probably need to come at the right time. Pastelerias and restaurants in abundance. And Gary and I have already clocked several restaurants that we want to come back to. So it's definitely a foodie place.
Yeah.
And bus services, people that have used the bus services said they're actually really smooth and really efficient. Yeah. So that's what immigrants think about living here.
Yeah, no, that's really good. That's a good summary, that is. And that summary brings us to the almost to the end. But I have one question for you all. Is based on what you've seen, on what we've shown you here, could you live in Viseu? We would really love to know that, because obviously it's not your normal places that people think of in Portugal. It's a little bit different. So could you live in Viseu with everything that it has to offer?
Yeah, or do you live here?
Or do you live here? And
tell
if you do live here, tell us all the bits that we've missed, because I'm sure there's some really good stuff out there, and we would love to know that.
We would.
Anyway, that does wrap things up for this week. As normal, please do like and subscribe. Comment as well, that really does help us. We keep asking this. Remember last week we talked about new podcasts. Go and have a look at those on Apple, Spotify and Podbean. So we got those. Well, there's only one at the moment. There will be more.
We've got those, yeah. No pressure.
But please do, it really does help us, and we want to get as much of this information out there as possible to as many people.
Yeah.
But that's it for this week. We hope you've enjoyed
Thank
Viseu.
you so much.
And we'll speak to you soon. Ta-ra
Ta-ra
for now.
for now.